Hello Golden State Warriors fans, we are here once again to bring you the latest news related to our team, and I would like to emphasize how committed we are to improving our performance to achieve great results. Before we dive into this intriguing news, I kindly request you to show your support by clicking the like button, and if you are not yet subscribed to our channel, I invite you all to join us on an exciting journey. Remember to turn on notifications so you don't miss anything.
Series Preview, Warriors vs. Rockets, April 20th, 2025. The Golden State Warriors are undefeated in playoff series against the Houston Rockets under the trio of Steve Kerr, Stephen Curry, and Draymond Green, a perfect 4-0. Now they're set to meet Houston once again, this time in the Western Conference quarterfinals, tipping off Sunday night in Houston at 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. How we got here. The 7th-seeded Warriors enter the playoffs as one of the league's most dangerous teams. Since acquiring Jimmy Butler III, Golden State has gone 24-7. The third-best record in the NBA over that stretch. They secured their spot in the playoffs by edging out the Grizzlies in a tight play-in battle, winning 121-116 behind a combined 75 points from Butler and Curry. The second-seeded Rockets clinched home court advantage well before the end of the season and still chose to play their starters in the regular season finale, sending a message. With 52 wins, Houston is back in the playoffs for the first time since 2019 and did it with the youngest core in franchise history to hit that milestone. Their average age? Just 24.8 years old. This marks the 5th playoff meeting between the Rockets and Warriors over the past 10 years. Golden State has won all 4 previous series. During the 2024-25 regular season, the Warriors took 3 of 5 games against Houston. 3 storylines to watch. 1. Rising youth versus proven champions. What makes this 2 vs. 7 matchup so compelling is how narrow the gap really is. Only 4 wins separate these two teams in the standings, much closer than the typical gulf between a 2nd and 7th seed. While the Eastern Conference has the battle-tested Celtics facing off against a young Orlando squad, in the West, it's the lower-seeded Warriors who bring the playoff pedigree. Golden State's core, Curry, Green, and Kerr, has won 4 championships, and now they've added Jimmy Butler, bringing the total to 21 combined All-Star appearances. On the other side, Houston has just 1 All-Star selection this year, Alperen Sengun. Still, the Rockets aren't short on tough-minded veterans. Fred VanVleet, an NBA champion, and Dillon Brooks, a fierce defender, bring the kind of playoff experience Houston will need to lean on against this battle-hardened Warriors squad. 2. The rebounding war. Houston's biggest strength? Owning the glass. They lead the league in both total rebounds per game, 48.5, and offensive rebounds per game, 14.6, which is translated directly into scoring, topping the league in second-chance points, 18.1 per game. Golden State, despite often playing small lineups with Draymond Green at center, has quietly held their own. They rank 5th in both total rebounds, 45.4, and offensive boards, 12.5. The big question: will the Warriors stick to their small ball identity or adjust with bigger lineups to neutralize Houston's size advantage? 3. 2 elite defenses collide. Since Jimmy Butler joined the Warriors, defense has been their calling card. Golden State has ranked 1st in defensive rating, 111.0, over that span. Draymond Green is firmly in the Defensive Player of the Year conversation, and Butler was just named Defensive Player of the Month for March. Gary Payton too remains a key point of attack defender, and Moses Moody has stepped up significantly since entering the starting lineup. But Houston isn't far behind. Under head coach Ime Udoka, the Rockets finished the regular season 5th in defensive rating, 110.3. Dillon Brooks is a physical presence on the perimeter, and second-year standout Klay Thompson is one of the most active and effective young defenders in the league. Scouting the Rockets, what Golden State should expect. The Rockets have built their success on depth, rebounding, defense, and an identity shaped by Ime Udoka, a coach who took Boston to the NBA Finals in his first season. This Houston team may be young, but they play with structure, purpose, and edge. Alperen Sengun anchors their offense and does it all: scoring, rebounding, facilitating. He's one of only 4 players in the NBA this season to average 19-plus points, 10-plus rebounds, and 4-plus assists, joining the likes of Jokic, Giannis, and Sabonis. Alongside him is Jalen Green, Houston's electric shooting guard, who led the team in scoring at 21.0 points per game and played in all 82 games, a rarity among 20-point scorers this season. His durability and explosiveness will be key factors in this series. Final word. The Warriors may be the 7th seed, but don't let that fool you. With their championship DNA, elite defense, and a resurgent Jimmy Butler, they are far from underdogs. Meanwhile, the Rockets are young, hungry, and ready to prove they belong. This series has all the ingredients: talent, history, tension, for something special. Golden State has the experience. Houston has the energy. Only one moves on. What's at stake? For the Warriors, this postseason could mark the final chapter for one of the greatest cores in NBA history. With Curry at 37, Draymond approaching his mid-30s, and Klay Thompson's future uncertain as he heads toward free agency, there's a sense of urgency. This might be their last real shot at a title run together. Adding Jimmy Butler to the mix was more than a mid-season move. It was a win-now gamble designed to squeeze every drop of potential from a core that already owns 4 rings. The stakes are different, but just as high for Houston. This playoff run represents a defining moment in the Rockets' rebuild. After years of lottery picks, coaching turnover, and player development, they finally turned the corner. A strong showing, or even an upset over the Warriors, would signal to the league that Houston is not just a promising young team, but a legitimate threat in the Western Conference for years to come. Media buzz and fan reactions. As expected, this matchup has stirred conversations across the NBA landscape. Analysts on national platforms have pointed out the unusual dynamic of a no. 7 seed entering the series as slight favorites among some insiders, largely because of Golden State's momentum since the All-Star break and the playoff pedigree of their stars. Social media has been buzzing with comparisons between the current Rockets and the 2012 Thunder, young, confident, and ahead of schedule. Meanwhile, Warriors fans are clinging to the hope that playoff Curry will rise again, while others are skeptical, pointing to the team's inconsistency early in the season and ongoing questions about depth beyond the core stars. Houston media, on the other hand, has embraced the underdog narrative. Head coach Ime Udoka's calm but confident demeanor has resonated with the fanbase, and the city is rallying behind this new generation. Fred VanVleet spoke to reporters earlier this week and emphasized that experience matters, but hunger does too, highlighting the team's desire to prove doubters wrong. Matchup to watch: Curry versus Brooks, again. One of the most anticipated subplots of this series is the renewal of the Stephen Curry versus Dillon Brooks rivalry. The two have a history of chippy moments and fiery back-and-forths, dating back to Brooks' time with Memphis. Brooks has already made headlines this week by calling the Warriors a team living in the past, a quote that will surely be revisited if Curry catches fire. Curry has historically torched Brooks in big moments, but the Rockets' wing has also had success throwing him off rhythm with physical defense. With Houston ranking top 5 in defensive efficiency and Brooks likely tasked with shadowing Curry full-time, this individual battle could swing a game, or the series. X factors and wild cards. Every playoff series has unsung heroes, and this one likely won't be any different. For Golden State, Jonathan Kuminga could be a game-changer. He's had multiple breakout performances against Houston this season, and brings a level of athleticism and physicality that could help neutralize Houston's energy. On Houston's side, Klay Thompson is the wild card. His length, quickness, and defensive versatility give him the tools to impact the game even without scoring. If he can provide disruptive minutes off the bench and push the pace in transition, he might tilt a few crucial possessions in Houston's favor. Also worth watching, Klay Thompson's role. Will Steve Kerr lean on his experience, or will he shorten the rotation if Klay's struggles from deep continue? There's also the possibility of Tracy Jackson-Davis getting more minutes if Houston overwhelms Golden State on the glass. Looking ahead. Game 1 will set the tone, but don't expect this to be a short series. The contrast in styles, Golden State's methodical spacing and shot creation versus Houston's physicality, rebounding dominance, and youthful pace, makes for an unpredictable, high-stakes chess match. For now, the only certainty is this: the past meets the future on Sunday night in Houston. And only one will take control of the present. Thursday Talk. Drop your questions about Warriors versus Rockets. We've got a huge first-round series coming up, and things are about to get exciting. Happy Thursday, Dub Nation. The Golden State Warriors are enjoying a few much-needed days of rest after their dramatic play-in win over the Memphis Grizzlies on Tuesday night. And now, thanks to that clutch victory, the Dubs are officially heading into a first-round showdown against this year's surprise no. 2 seed, the young, explosive, and ultra-athletic Houston Rockets. Game 1 tips off Sunday night. With 83 games behind us and a high-stakes, 7-game battle ahead, it's the perfect time to open up the mailbag. I'm going to make this a weekly thing, yes, for real this time. I know I promised that before, but the chaos of the season got in the way. This time we're sticking with it, and it starts now. So here's the deal. Head to the comment section and drop any questions you've got about the Warriors. We'll definitely talk about the upcoming series against Houston, but don't hold back. Want to reflect on the wild season we just had? Wondering what the off-season could look like? Curious how the rest of the league might shake out? Let's talk about it all. I'll go through the questions and post the full mailbag Friday morning. Then, just 2 days later, we'll be watching the Warriors step back onto the playoff stage, ready to chase another postseason run. So let's get into it. Fire away, this is your space, Dub Nation. The Warriors are back where they belong, in the playoffs. There's something special about this time of year, and after a roller coaster regular season, the Warriors are back on the big stage, battle-tested and hungry. The journey hasn't been easy. From early injuries and lineup experiments to mid-season slumps and tough losses, this team has had to grind for every win. But that's exactly why they could be dangerous now. The play-in game against Memphis showed us a lot. Steph still has that killer instinct. Draymond can flip the switch defensively when it matters most, and the team's younger core, especially Brandon Podziemski and Jonathan Kuminga, isn't afraid of the moment. That mix of veteran grit and rising talent could be exactly what Golden State needs as they prepare to face a high-flying Houston team. The Rockets, a new threat in the West. Houston has been one of the biggest surprises of the season. After years of rebuilding, they've put together a fast, fearless group built around explosive young stars like Draymond Green, Alperen Sengun, and rookie sensation Klay Thompson. Combine that with the leadership of head coach Ime Udoka and the experience of veterans like Fred VanVleet, and you've got a team that's not just exciting, they're legit. The Rockets finished the regular season strong, locking up the second seed and showing that their up-tempo, switch-heavy style can overwhelm teams on both ends. For the Warriors, this series isn't just about experience. It's about adjusting quickly, staying disciplined, and making every possession count. Playoff implications and pressure. Let's not sugarcoat it. This series could have massive implications for the future of the Warriors as we know them. With uncertainty looming around Klay Thompson's free agency, questions about the roster's long-term structure, and Steph Curry entering the back half of his career, every game matters. This postseason might be the last ride for this version of the core, and the stakes couldn't be higher. Meanwhile, a strong showing by the Warriors could reshape the narrative. Pulling off an upset against Houston wouldn't just extend their playoff run. It could rekindle belief that this team still has another championship run in them. Dub Nation's voice matters. That's why the mailbag is so important right now. Your thoughts, questions, and perspectives help shape the conversation around the team. Whether you want to debate rotation changes, predict matchups, or just vent about how your heart can't take another fourth-quarter meltdown, this is your time. Drop your questions in the comments, and I'll tackle as many as I can in Friday's edition. Let's keep the energy high, the conversations real, and the spirit of Dub Nation loud as ever. Because no matter how this series goes, one thing is certain, you don't bet against the heart of a champion. Let's go, Warriors. Warriors vs. Rockets. Key takeaways from the regular season matchups. Few regular season matchups were as competitive and intense as the 5 meetings between the Golden State Warriors and the Houston Rockets. Each game carried a playoff-like atmosphere, with tight scores, physical play, and standout performances. And at the heart of it all was Jonathan Kuminga, who delivered some of his best basketball of the year against Houston. The Warriors won the regular season series 3-2, but every game was decided by 10 points or less. Here's a breakdown of how the series unfolded and the key narratives that emerged. April 6th, Warriors 96, Rockets 106. The Rockets snapped the Warriors' 5-game win streak with a statement win at Chase Center. Houston's defense locked in on Golden State stars, holding Stephen Curry to just 3 points on 1 of 10 shooting and Draymond Green to 2 points. Dillon Brooks led the way for the Rockets with 24 points on an efficient 10 of 13 from the field. February 13th, Warriors 105, Rockets 98. Playing on the second night of a back-to-back, the Warriors showed no signs of fatigue. Curry scored a game-high 27 points, while all 5 Golden State starters finished in double figures. Jimmy Butler contributed 19 points and 8 rebounds, and Draymond Green added 13 points and 8 assists. December 11th, Warriors 90, Rockets 91. In the NBA in-season tournament quarterfinals, the Rockets edged the Warriors by a single point in the final seconds. Houston scored the last 7 points of the game, including the game-winning free throws. The Warriors had a final chance at the buzzer but couldn't convert, ending their 15-game win streak against the Rockets. December 5th, Warriors 99, Rockets 93. Jonathan Kuminga delivered the best game of his career, scoring a career-high 33 points, including 14 in the fourth quarter. With the game still in reach for Houston, Kuminga attacked the rim with 32 seconds left and sealed the win with a powerful finish. It was a defining moment in his breakout season. November 2nd, Warriors 127, Rockets 121, overtime. Golden State built a 31-point lead but had to fight through overtime to secure the win in Houston. The Warriors shot 60% in the first half but cooled off drastically in the second. Kuminga once again stepped up in the clutch, scoring 6 of the Warriors' 8 overtime points and finishing with 23 points in just 26 minutes. The impact of Jonathan Kuminga. Jonathan Kuminga played his most efficient and dynamic basketball of the season against the Rockets. He averaged 21.3 points per game in the series, his highest against any opponent he faced multiple times. He shot 50.8% from the field and 42.1% from three, with an average of 4.8 made three-pointers per game. His performance included 2 major highlights, scoring 75% of the team's overtime points on November 2nd, and dropping 14 of his career-high 33 points in the final quarter on December 5th. Though he sat out the last 2 games of the regular season, both his teammates and coach Steve Kerr have emphasized how critical Kuminga's role will be moving forward. Against Houston, he has consistently shown the ability to change the game. Every game within 10 points. All 5 games between the Warriors and Rockets this season were decided by 10 points or fewer. The smallest margin came in Houston's 91-90 win during the in-season tournament. Each game felt like a playoff preview, defined by physical defense, tough shot making, and high effort from both sides. A limited look at Curry and Butler. Stephen Curry missed the first 2 games of the series, and Jimmy Butler was not yet part of the Warriors for the first 3 matchups. That means the Rockets only faced the full-strength version of Golden State once. In one of the 2 games Curry did play, Houston held him to just 3 points, one of the lowest scoring games of his entire career. However, in the one game where both Curry and Butler played near their typical level, they combined for 46 points and led the Warriors to their most comfortable win of the series. Final thoughts. The regular season series between the Warriors and Rockets was one of the most competitive and underrated rivalries of the year. Every matchup felt meaningful, and each game brought out the best in Jonathan Kuminga. With the playoffs ahead and both teams adjusting to their evolving lineups, this rivalry may just be getting started.